If you are applying for a home loan, don't just ask, can approve or not. The most important number is not your salary. It is your DSR, debt service ratio. This is the number that decides if you look safe or risky to the bank. Today, you are going to learn exactly how banks calculate your DSR in 2026, what hidden commitments they actually count, and the simple formula to check your eligibility before you submit the document. Here is how I know all about this. I am not a banker, but I know how painful it is to get rejected after waiting for weeks. So I have studied the latest guideline. I also have the calculation method, so you don't have to guess. Why is this calculation method is so important? Because if you get it wrong, you will end up like a lot of buyers which their home loan get rejected. So there is this one guy that earns 4,500. He thinks his salary is enough. He finds a house, applies for the loan. 2 weeks later, got rejected. And he felt shocked. Why? Because he forgot that banks look at his entire debt stack. His PTPTN, which he pays sometimes, his BNPL, the buy now pay later, spanning 3 months, and his credit card usage. On paper, he looked broke, even though he felt rich. So don't be like him. Before you apply, you need to do check number 1, which is to know what counts as commitment. First, list down what banks actually see in CRIS. It's not just your car loan. They also look at PTPTN. Yes, it counts. ASB financing. It also counts as debt. Credit cards. Even if you pay full every month, bank count 5% of the outstanding balance or limit as commitment. And then the BNPL, buy now pay later. This is the new killer. If it appears on your credit report, like the SPay later, Grab pay later, it also counts as debt. So the lesson here is, don't play and say it's just small amount of money. If it's on the report, it is a commitment. Okay, now you have the list of debt. How do you calculate the magic number? Let's do the math. The basic formula is total monthly commitment divided by the net income. For safety, you need to use your net income. Gaji bersih after EPF, SOCSO, and tax deduction. So, for the example, total commitment is from car loan, PTPTN, and your future house loan. Maybe take it as 2,500. And then, for example, the net income, 4,000. Your DSR will be 62.5%. Different banks have different caps. Some 60, some 70. But if your number hits 70%, you are in the danger zone. You need to be careful. But what if you calculate and your DSR is already 80%? Are you panicked? You don't need. Here is what you need to do instead. If your DSR is too tight, don't force apply. You will just get a rejection on your record. But you can try these 3 things. First one is lower the installment. Buy a house that is cheaper, or you can put bigger down payment. Next one is reduce the commitment. You can try settle any small debt first. Clear the BNPL, for example. Next one is increase the income. You can try joint loan with your spouse or family members to combine the income. You need to fix the story first and then apply. Your approval chance will get higher. So now you know your DSR. Let's say your loan is approved. Great. But getting approved and actually having cash to pay the legal fees are two different things. Do you have roughly around 15 to 20,000 cash standby for the upfront cash? So I have another video that I break down the 3 upfront costs you must pay immediately after the loan is approved. You can watch this video. I put the link in the description or in the pinned comment. Also, if you are looking for project in Johor with some good package, you can download my Johor project cheat sheet. The link you can find in the description or pinned comment.